finally belong to the people who have read Forbidden by Suzuma. Tabitha, this book was discussed a lot on BookTube. I bought it in January and it took a while till I finally picked it up. But now I can tell you a bit what my thoughts are when I was reading this book. The synopsis is pretty special because it is about a brother and a sister and they are falling in love with each other. So recently we got some stories with step siblings falling in love, like Dark Love or something like Paper Princess or something, but here this is biological 100% brother and sister, and it is actually explained pretty authentical because it's pretty slow paced in the beginning, because first of all Suzuma is telling us about the situation in this family. It's a pretty torn apart family, and the 17-year-old Lochan and the 16-year-old Maya, they are pretty much pressed into the parents' role. So they have to take care of the smaller siblings. They have 3 little ones, like the 5-year-old girl, then they have a 8-year-old boy, I think, and also a 13-year-old guy. So he just got into the puberty thing, so he's a bit rebellious and they have some trouble with him. The father left them at one point and he started a different family somewhere else, and also the mother, she kind of wants to stay young. She likes to go shopping for new clothes and likes to impress other men. Now she has a new boyfriend, Dave, and she's pretty much spending all the time at Dave's house and so on. So Maya and Lochan, they are pretty much running the household and taking care of the 3 younger siblings. So they have always been more like friends and being like a soul partner, and then they notice that they feel more for each other. So this book gives a lot of room to describe the family problems with the rebellious kid and with the money they are lacking to pay for stuff, you know, new clothes for the kids. And they also have, you know, they're busy with their own school and they also have their dreams, but they're kind of sacrificing a lot to keep the family a bit together. Also, it's difficult to, you know, go to the police or whatever, because they're afraid that then the kids will be torn apart and every kid is getting put into a different caring family when a law person is going to notice how messed up this family is. Apart from that, of course, we have a lot of spotlight on Maya and Lochan. So we have 2 perspectives. It's Maya's and Lochan's perspective cycling around, so we see how they both are feeling, like we take a look inside of them. And do you know how I felt when I was reading this book? I felt like watching an anime, because Lochan and Maya, they get described as gorgeous, like slim, slender, tall, athletic, so attractive. Lochan, he's having trouble to talking with strangers. He's very introvert. He just opens up a bit with Maya, but he doesn't really talk with people in the school. But he is, you know, he's having an aura and a lot of girls would love to date him, and he's the mysterious boy. And Maya gets described, she has aubrey hair, long hair, big blue eyes, and also very slim, very fair skin. And yeah, for me it was so especially fitting because Lochan is often so shy and so on, and that's also something you see pretty often in anime or whatever, that this male protagonist is not a big hero or a cool dude or whatever. That's something you might see quite often in anime or manga and so on. So yeah, for me it's 2 pretty gorgeous people, brother and sister, and it's against the law and they're not allowed to fall in love with each other, so they are about to do something forbidden. And yeah, I got absolutely an anime flair that if you have read this book, I would be so interested if someone else felt like that. And in contrast, we have this messed up family which has this kind of redneck vibes actually. Also, the ending was pretty Hollywood-like. There comes a big bow and something I did not expect that. The ending, a lot of people found it so dramatic and so good after all. but it was not really so in my style. But in general, reading this book was just entertaining all the time. You know, it's brother and sister, so it's a topic you don't hear that often or read that often. Yeah, so it was just an interesting experience to take a look at this book and to see, okay, how am I reacting on this thing? Am I sympathizing with them? Would I fight for them? Would I defend them? Do I find this disgusting what's going on there? So I think just out of a kind of a self-experiment, it's good to read this book, and apart from that, it is a page turner. I love to read it. I wanted to know how it's ending, and of course, you know, it takes a while till Meyer and Lochen really start getting intimate or something like that. So it was also like you're reading and reading, you are like, okay, when it's actually happening. So there I also noticed, you know, how I am looking for this sensation that this book is coming along with. From the writing style, it was also really nice, and also if you're not native English, for example, I was able to understand that, and once you're in the groove, then it's really not a big problem, and you're even learning a new words. I have to say, some words I actually knew because I'm playing World of Warcraft, or I used to play World of Warcraft in English, and there were quite some words I got from there. For example, vaporizing, that's like a mage spell. It's also used in Hearthstone, you know, in the Blizzard board, so a card game. Or for example, annihilate, exactly, that's how you pronounce it, annihilate. And I also understood all these words because thanks to World of Warcraft and Hearthstone. To sum it up, I think Suzuma Tabitha did a good job summing up and delivering and packaging this controversial topic in a very sensitive and in a also kind of authentic way. From time to time it went pretty dramatic and cheesy, and also the ending was also a big blow up, as I already mentioned. So there is a change in the last part of the book where it suddenly gets really weird and unrealistic and really over the top, and you're like, what the heck is going on? Why on earth do you think that this is a good idea and this is even plausible and that you think that this might work or whatever? But because of that, it was just also entertaining. So this was a mixture for me of an anime and also such a romance Hollywood movie where you're always sitting there and you're like, what the heck, why are you doing this? No, come on, there are so many better ways to solve this problem, and you know, where you are pulling out your hair because how characters are behaving. So that was my little review about this young adult romance contemporary novel. I hope you liked this video and I wish you a really good day. See you!